Hello, welcome to Pragim Technologies. I am Venkat. This is part 10 of SQL Server. In this session, we'll talk everything about the select statement in SQL Server. We'll first see how to select specific columns or all columns. Okay, now if we want to select all the columns from all columns and all rows from TBL person table, we will say select star from TBL person. When we execute that query, we get all the results, all the columns and all the rows. Now another way to select all the columns from a table, instead of specifying the star here, you can specify the column list. And if you're lazy typing in all the column names, you can ask SQL Server to write the query for you automatically. So go into the database, go into that table, right click on the table, script table as, select to, new query editor window. So what it is going to do for us, it will write the query for us. Look at this. These are all the columns I want from this table. But then if you look at the table name here in the from class, we have a three-part table name. Okay, the first one, sample, is nothing but the name of the database, and the second part is the schema, and the third part is the name of the table itself. Now we haven't spoken about database schemas yet. We'll be talking about them in a later session. Okay, so this is the fully qualified name of the table. Now what's the advantage of having a fully qualified name? Even if you don't have the context of the database selected, look at this. I am in the context of the master database, but since I have a fully qualified name, when I execute this query, the query gets executed fine. But on the other hand, if I don't have the fully qualified name, if I just have the table name, and if I try to execute this query, obviously it will try to find the table in the master database and we get an error. So the advantage of having a fully qualified name of the table is that you can run it from any database context. Okay, so obviously to select all the columns from a table, you can either use star or you can specify the list of columns. Okay, for performance reasons, it's always better to specify the entire column list rather than just saying star. Alright, so that's the first thing, selecting specific columns or all columns. Now how to select distinct rows? Let's understand what we mean by that. Okay, in TBL person table, you see that, if you look at the city, there are some duplicates. There are two people living in London. Now let's say I want all the distinct cities that are available in this table. How do I do that? I can use the distinct keyword. So select distinct city from TBL person. So when I execute that, look at this, we have a total of 5 rows, out of which London is repeated twice, and I want distinct cities from this table. So when I execute this, I only end up getting 4 rows. Okay, London is repeated only once. London, Mumbai, New York, Sydney. Now let's execute this one again. Now let's say I want distinct city and the name of the person. Okay, so let's say, now let us see how many rows we get and what result we get. So when I execute this query, look at this, I got 5 rows back. And why did it give 5 rows? And if you look at this, London is repeated twice. Now it's not giving me distinct city. Okay, but we have used distinct keyword. So what happened to that? Now when you are saying distinct keyword and multiple columns, you are actually telling SQL Server the value should be distinct across these two columns. So if you take these two columns, they will be distinct. So when you use distinct keyword across more than one column, you're specifying it's enough for the values to be distinct across all those columns, when you put them together. So that's selecting distinct records using the distinct keyword. Filtering the values with the where class. Now when I say select star from TBL person, I get all the records from the table. Now let's say I want only the people who are living in London. How do I filter them? You use the where class. Okay, so you use the where class and you specify your condition in the where class. So what's your condition in the where class? I want all the people who are residing in the city of London. So London. So what's going to happen, this expression will return a true or a false. If it returns true, then that record is selected for the result set, otherwise not. So there are 2 people living in London, so when we execute this query we should get only 2 records. Okay, and you can also we'll talk about that in a bit anyways. So you can use the where clause basically to limit the number of rows that you want to return. Now if you want to select all the people who are not residing in London, instead of specifying multiple city names here, what you can do is you can specify where city not equal to. By the way, that's the not equal to operator in SQL Server, greater than and less than symbol. So not equal to London. When I press F5, I get every person who are not living in the city of London. Okay, and you can use another operator, that is exclamation and equal to. Even this is considered as not equal to. So you can either use greater than or less than, or exclamation equal to. Alright, so now when you use the where class to filter the rows, there are several operators that you can use with the where class. We have just seen how to use equal to and not equal to. Let's see what other operators are available for us. So these are the variety of operators that are available. So we have seen how to use equal to and not equal to. Similarly, you can also specify greater than or greater than equal to, less than or less than or equal to, and these are very easy to use. Obviously they are self-explanatory. Apart from these operators, we also have other operators. For example, in operator, this is extremely useful. Now if we look at all the people that we have in our database, okay, there is an age column and there are several people with different ages. Now let us say I want to select all the people whose age is 20, 23 and 25. So how do I do that? You want to specify multiple filters. So you can say where age is equal to 20, or age is equal to 23, or age is equal to 25. Instead of specifying multiple conditions, look at this. If I have to do that, I want to select people with age is equal to 20, or age is equal to 23, or age is equal to maybe 29. So if I have to do that, I'll get all the people whose age is 20, 23 and 29. Okay, but it's many conditions, many conditions concatenated using the OR symbol. Okay, instead of doing this, you can actually rewrite this query using the in operator. Select star from TBL person, where age in, you can just say 20, 23, 29. And this is much simpler and easier to understand as well. So I want all the people whose age is within that list. So if you want to specify a list of values, then you use the in operator. Okay, now you can also use the between operator. If you want, let's say for example, I want all the people whose age is between 20 and 25, I can use the between keyword. Okay, so select star from TBL person, where age between 20 and 25. So when I execute this query, I get all the people whose age is between 20 and 25, and these boundary conditions 20 and 25 are inclusive. Okay, so to specify a range of values, then we use the between operator. Now, and the interesting and very useful operator is the like operator, which can be used to specify a pattern. Now let's see how to use the like operator. Let's select all the rows that are present in TBL person. Now let's say I want all the people whose city name starts with L. Okay, so how do I do that? Select star from TBL person, where city is equal to, I want all the people who resides in a city that starts with the letter L. So you can say L, so it starts with L, but percentage. Okay, now you cannot use equal to here. I want to use like operator. So what you are saying is the city column should have this pattern. It should start with L, and after L it can have any character. Okay, so if we execute this query, all the people living in London. Okay, Let's get all of them back again. Let's say I want to find out all valid email addresses. Now obviously, one of the quick things that we can check if to find out if an email is valid or not, we can find an @ symbol. If there is an @ symbol in their email address, you can at least say, okay, it's the right format of the email. So I want to find out all the email addresses which has got an @ symbol within that. How do I do that? I can say @ symbol there, but there should be something in front of it, any character in front of an @ symbol, any character after the @ symbol, but there should be an @ symbol in the email column. So where email like. So when we press, total we have 5 rows within the table. When I execute this query, I am only getting 4 rows, which means there is one invalid email. Now let's find out what is that invalid email. You can use the not operator. Give me all the rows which not like this pattern. So when I press F5, so Mary didn't provide her valid email address. She is missing the @ symbol. We know that every valid email should have that @ symbol. So basically, you can use the like operator with for specifying a pattern. So we use the like operator to specify a pattern, and with the like operator we use something called wildcards. So here the percentage is a wildcard. We are not specifying what exactly is the character. It's just like a placeholder or a substitute for some characters. It could be 0 or more characters. Okay, so there are several wildcards in SQL Server that we can use. One of them is the percentage, which can be used as a replacement or a substitute for 0 or more characters. And along the same lines, we have an underscore. This is underscore, not dash. Underscore, which is used as a substitute for exactly one character. Let's understand what we mean by this. So if you look at TBL person table. Okay, now let's say I want to select all the email addresses that has exactly one character before the @ symbol and one character after the @ symbol. How do I do that? You can say, okay, I want to select all the email addresses which has got one character before the @ symbol. Okay, if I have an email address something like this, a@a.com or b@b.com, I want to retrieve all the email addresses like this, which has got one character before the @ symbol and one character after the @ symbol. After that, it needs to be .com. So .com. So I want something like this. Okay, so you're using the underscore to specify there should be only one character before and after that @ symbol. Now if I execute this, you should see we get all the email addresses. Okay, now if you look at this, we got the negative results. That's because we used the not operator there. So when I press F5, we get those email addresses which has exactly one character before and after the @ symbol. So we can use underscore for that to specify exactly one character, and you can use a square brackets. You can use these square brackets to specify a list of characters. Now let's say I want to select all the people from TBL person table, maybe whose name starts with specific characters. Now let's say if a person name starts with T, I want that person. If a person's name starts with M or S, I want that person's name. Okay, so basically we want all the people whose name starts with MST. Okay, how do we do that? Select star from TBL person, where name like, you specify those square brackets, and within the square brackets you can specify, and obviously you need to have single quote. By the way, keep in mind, anytime you are using a character or a text data type, okay, that has to be specified within single quotes. If it's numeric values, then you don't have to specify single quotes, but if it is text data, text values, you will have to specify that in single quotes. Okay, so we want all the people whose names starts with MST, and after that it can be any characters, we don't really care, but the name should start with MST. So when we execute this query now, you should see everybody whose name starts with M, S and T, and after that it can be Tom, Mary, ARY or SARA. So basically we use square brackets to specify a list of characters. And if you want to select all the people whose names doesn't start with MST, all you do is you specify this symbol here. Okay, this specifies not in this list. So when we execute this query, you should see that we will get everybody whose name doesn't start with MST. In this case, Josh Records. So these are the wildcard operators that can be used with a pattern. So we have seen how to filter the rows using the where class, and we have also seen how to use the wildcards that are available in SQL Server. And we can also join multiple conditions using and or operators. We have seen an example of that in a bit. Now let's say I want to select all people who are living in London or Mumbai and whose age is greater than 25, greater than or equal to 25. Okay, so how do we do that? So here the conditions are, there are multiple conditions. I want all the people who live in London or Mumbai and their age should be greater than 25. So select star from TBL person where city is equal to London or city is equal to Mumbai and age should be greater than 25. Okay, so you have to put this parenthesis here between these two conditions, because what we said, the city should be equal to London or Mumbai and at the same time their age should be greater than 25. So one of these two conditions should be true and their age should be 25. So you can join multiple conditions using or and operators. So if we select this query, obviously we'll get all those people who are living in city, London or Mumbai, and at the same time their age greater than 25. And we can use order by clause to sort the results of a query. So let's say when I select all these rows from this table, okay, they are coming in the order of this primary key 1 2 3 4 5. Only this primary key is sorted. Now let's say I want to retrieve all the people from this database, but their names should be in ascending order of alphabets. Okay, how do I do that? Select star from TBL person order by. We use order by class to sort the results name. So when I press F5, what it's going to do, it's going to sort these results by the name. And look at this, it's sorted by default in the ascending order. Okay, if you don't specify the sort order, by default it's the ascending order. You can also specify to sort the name in descending order by using the DESC keyword. So when I press F5 now, the names will be sorted in descending order. And it's also possible you can sort by multiple columns. For example, I want to sort first by name in the descending order, then by age in ascending order. Is that possible? Absolutely. Okay, order by name in descending order, then by age in ascending order. You can specify as many columns as you want. So it sorts first by name and then by age in descending order. Look at this, name is in descending order, and within this name Josh is repeated twice, so their ages are sorted in ascending order because you specified sort by age in ascending order. And selecting top n or top percentage of risk, this top keyword is especially useful if the table is large. Okay, let's say I have a table where I have thousands and thousands of records and I just want to see a sample set of records in that table. But when I say select star from TBL person, it's going to retrieve all the rows from that table, and it might take maybe 2 to 3 seconds depending on the size of the table, and it can affect performance negatively. So if you want to see just the top 10 or 5 records of a table, you can use the top keyword. How do we use that? You can just say select top. Maybe I want the top 10 records from this table, so select top 10 star from TBL person, which only gives 10 records. We don't even have 10 records here. So let's say select top 2 records. So select top 2 star. So it gives you all the columns. You can either specify star here or the columns that you want. Let's say I just want the name column and maybe age column. You can specify the columns as well. So select top 2 name comma age. Or if you want all the columns, you just say top 2 star. So you can specify an absolute number here, or you can specify a percentage. Let's say I want only top 1% of the rows. Okay, you can also use the percentage. So when I press F5, top 1% in 5 is only 1. Okay, on the other hand, let's say top 50%, it's about 2 to 3 records in the 5 records that we have. So we get 3 records, top 50%. So you can either specify an absolute number, top 10 records, or top n percentage, 10%, 50%, etc. Now, this top keyword is especially very useful to achieve something. Let's say, one of the common interview questions is, how do you find the top salary of an employee? Okay, in our table we don't have salary column, but we have an age column. Let's say I want to find the eldest person in this table. How do I do that? You can use the top keyword for that actually. So let's see this. Select star from TBL person, order by age, DESC. So what is this going to do? This is going to select all the records from TBL person table ordered by age in descending order. So if you look at this, Josh is the one who has got 29 years of age, and that's the top record. So what you can do here is select top 1 star. So what it's going to do on this ordered result, it's going to give you the top record, which is nothing but the eldest person in our table. Okay, similarly you can do this, you can apply the same logic for an employee table and salary column, where you get the top paid employee. So we got Josh, whose age is 29 years. Alright, on this slide you can find resources for ASP.NET and C# interview questions. That's it for today. Thank you for listening. Have a great day.